this call starts recording. So hello everyone, it's Connor here today. So in this day we're gonna start with the GBP NZD trade. Okay, we're gonna explain this trade. Like you know, I took this trade in my funded account. We got 14R from this trade. So the logic behind this trade is so simple. So like you see, we are bearish here and we have this 2-hour supply. So from this 2-hour supply, so we're gonna talk about the 3 reasons or why this supply will work with us, and what is the confluences that make this supply a strong supply. So the first thing we have this lag here from this point, from this high. Let's see this a protected high, and let's come back with the replay mode first. Okay, and we have here the low. Okay, so like you know, the market move from this premium level to take liquidity in the extreme structure. Okay, so we have here, if we got the Fibonacci, this is a premium extreme level. So it's a very premium level in very good area to short. So this is the first confluence. Our second, so we're gonna see, you're gonna make a text here. Our first confluence, our first thing is we have to short. So this is our first confluence. The second confluence that we have a liquidity below it. Okay, so this high here, it's a liquidity. Why this is a liquidity? So if we come back here with the replay mode and we just try to discuss this lag here, and we start to look for the Fibonacci. So this lag here, do you see all this lag? Yeah. So usually the market trade move like this way. We have here a drop and retracement to a premium level and then continuation. Okay, and again deep retracement to a premium level and then continuation. So in this case, this didn't happen. We have here a drop and then retracement, but it's not a deep retracement in a premium level. So that, and then a drop. So a lot of dump smart money will consider this as a break of structure. So they will consider this as a lower high. So they will consider this as a lower high. Okay, but in fact this is not a lower high. When we consider this as a lower high, only if this high reach a premium level successfully. If this high didn't reach the premium level successfully, so it's not a lower high, so it's not a new structure. So this point, it's a pole of liquidity. So we have here a tons of liquidity. Okay, so like you see here, this lag didn't reach the 15% or above it, so this point will be a pole of liquidity. Okay, so let's delete that. That make our chart is clear. So now when price came back, so a lot of traders will consider this as a break of structure, but this wrong. Okay, so try to avoid that. Always, every lag in the market, if we didn't reach the premium level of this lag, so avoid to trade it. So a lot of smart money traders will look for this as a new supply, but actually it's not valid supply. It's not a valid supply. Even if we break again, it's not a valid supply because we have here liquidity. So now price, after tapping into our supply plus the third confluence, so let's say here we have here 2, we have here liquidity generated below our supply. Okay, So the third reason, we have simply imbalance. So like you see here, we have a clear imbalance need to be filled. Okay, so we have three confluences. Okay, now we need to look for a confirmation on the lower time frame. So at this point we don't know, because the price could to simply move to the extreme supply here. Okay, so at this point we do not have any lower time frame confirmations, so price could completely go to the extreme level and then drop. Okay, because we still have some imbalance here. So at this point we need to drop to the lower time frame. So here where I dropped to a lower time frame, so at this point we need as a lower time frame confirmation, we need two things. We need a strong shift in momentum or strong break. We need a change of character. So when we talk about change of character, this low here, so this low here will be not valid change of character for me. Okay, so this not change of character, brothers. Remember, we need a break of structure with a supply of the freshest demand. So if we talked about the freshest demand, this will be the fresh demand that we need to see it broken. Okay, because if we take a trade from this, for example, from this supply, after this small change of character, price will come back to this demand and maybe will continue to the upside and hit our stop loss. So we need to see the last demand break. Okay, so at this point, this demand here got failed. Okay, this demand failed. Okay, at this point, and we have now at this point we need to look for a valid supply here. And so let's make it clear here. We need to look on the lower time frame. We need to look for a couple of things. First thing, we need to look for a valid change of character. Please fresh demand fail. So these two things are just move together. The second thing, we need to look for lower time frame minor liquidity generated before this one. Valid change before this one. We need to look for valid lower time frame supply to short from. Okay, and the third thing, we need lower time frame minor liquidity generated below our lower time frame valid supply. Okay, so those three things we're gonna look for. So the first thing, we're gonna look for valid change of character. So at this point we have a valid change of character. Okay, now we're gonna look for the second thing. It's so everyone, you can hear me clearly? So let me confirm you hear me clearly and see my screen. So please say yes in the chat to continue. Okay, everyone? Okay, so trader A says okay, so you see me clearly. Okay, so we're gonna continue. So now the first point, it's clear. So this our second point, we need to look for a valid supply to short from. So I just dropped to the 7 minute, and like you see here, this one will be not valid for me. Why? Because we have a liquidity here, it's just very close to this supply. Okay, so I choose to take extreme supply. Why? There is a couple of reasons. So this extreme supply, we still have some imbalance, and we have this wick here. This wick here we'll consider as an inducement. Inducement is just a liquidity but close to the OB, okay, close to the order block. So if we got to the 5 minutes, it's gonna be more clear. We have here a little bit of imbalance, but to be safe and to avoid missing out this trade, I just go to the 16-minute and I choose to take the trade from this 16-minute more clearance demand. So this demand more clear than this one, but the market in the end choose the extreme refined demand. Anyway, you're gonna see that. Okay, so what we have here, we have two forms of liquidity. We have the S in session high liquidity, okay, this is the first one, and we have here some kind of trend line gonna build when price come back all the way here. So now we're gonna just put our limit and our stop loss above here, and we're gonna talk about the target later. So now here we have S in session low swipe of liquidity. Okay, so price now have the reason to push up to take other liquidity and then continue to the downside. Okay, so here if we dropped here, do you see this? It's like a rejection. At this point it's like a rejection, because this point here reject the price before. So retail traders will look for this level as a support and resistance. They will look for this as an okay. So look how this level is so important for retail traders. We have a rejection, break, rejection, breakthrough. So price at this level do something. So retail traders and their logic, they think this level will be a good level to short, so they start shorting here. So this is the reason why we smart money traders look for this level as a liquidity level. Okay, so now at this point we have other level of support and resistance. So this level here, because we have here the first touch, and we have here, if we drop to the lower time frame, you're gonna see more touches here. Okay, so now after seeing this strong push to the upside, it's absolutely a swipe of liquidity to so the market don't want to give them the time to close their positions. So this strong push to the downside, swipe the liquidity, and strong reaction to the downside. So this is all about this trade. So it's simple logic. Our target, so someone of you gonna target this demand here. If we go to the 1 hour or the 2 hour, maybe the 3 hour, you're gonna see demand. Some of you gonna say this is a valid demand, but this is not a valid demand. Maybe price will reject from it, but it's not a valid demand, because here we have a weak low. It's not let's say this is weak low. So the market will target all the way to this low to continue the trend to the downside. And also we have here some form of liquidity. So this low and this low, it's irrelevant lows, so maybe this will be a nice form of liquidity. So as you see here, this is the trade I took. So this trade took me for the whole week. You need to have a strong emotion, strong psychology to hold it all the way, especially when price come to this demand. A lot of traders will close their positions here, but in the end, so as a re-entry, where is possible re-entry? So like you see clearly here, we just generate some liquidity. So you can look for re-entry after swipe this liquidity. So this small wick, it's a swipe of liquidity. So if we drop to the 4 minute, maybe this will be a valid supply to short from. Okay, another short from this point could be valid, so we can take it from this point. I will take the trade from the fair value gap, put my stop loss above here, and again the same target. I don't know if this will be triggered or not, so let's see. Yeah, look, completely we missed the trade. Okay, so in the end the trade hit the full TP. Okay, so this is the trade on GBP and ZD. So this is the logic behind. So let me show discussion. So yeah, so this is the same logic behind it. Okay, before we take the trade. So now let's go to the Euro JPY trade. So Euro JPY, like you see, if you remember, we talked about it in the community, in my elite section. I sent this trade. So this is the trade. Okay, so yeah, this one in the 55-minute time frame. So now I will explain why this and how I just took this trade. So now if we come back with a reply mode, it's the same logic of GBP and ZD. So structural point, if price failed to reach a premium level, so you will never consider this point as a new structure. Remember that if price failed to reach a premium level, then be sure that price will take this high and reach some premium level, and then will continue to the downside. Never take a trade from this point. So we're gonna talk about the same logic here. So at this level, maybe some of you from those who following me, so they know that I took a trade. I passed my challenge in True Forex Fund from this point. I took the trade from this point after swipe of liquidity. So I take 2 trades from this point, but this is not our trade. Okay, so now if we took the fib and took all this leg, now this high here didn't reach the 15% or above it. So this point here, remember this point here, this point swept the liquidity before, but it still have another form of liquidity. So here the trick, after price broke through this low, a lot of traders will look for this as a new valid supply, even if this supply have a liquidity. Because here the smart money traders who got trapped into this level. Okay, so this will be a nice trap. Okay, so remember, price just will swipe the liquidity from those lows and continue to the upside. A lot of smart money will try to continue the trend from this level of supply, but in the end they will take them all out and tap into more discounted level and then continue to the downside. So this, at this point, we sweep the liquidity. We can take an entry from this point to the upside, but I didn't take it. So, and other traders maybe look for this supply as a valid supply. Let me supply, because we have a strong momentum with imbalance, blah blah blah. So a lot, even if the market give you here, I got trapped here. So I took a loss from this level, okay, cause I saw this reaction. So I took this trade, and then in the end, after price taking me out, I just understood the logic behind this stop loss. Why price just took me out from this level. When I saw this Asian high below our supply, I just took the trade, and then the market just take me out. I just review it myself and look it again to the structure. and in the 55-minute time frame I just saw this valid supply. Why this is a valid supply? For me, the first thing we said before, it's this supply at a discounted level. So this is the first point. The second point, this supply took liquidity before. So this high here, let me delete the fib. So this high here, it's ASEAN, it's a New York high, and then market took this high and then drop. So took liquidity before, more confluence added to our confluences. We have here some imbalance, okay, and a lot of traders got trapped here, so we have enough liquidity to reverse, okay. So at other point we just built more liquidity before tapped into our supply. So if we dropped here to a lower time frame, we're gonna see that we have here a small high on the lower time frame, so the market will just build here some liquidity. And if you looked closer and expand this line here, you're gonna see that we have here first top and the second top. So this is a clear retail traders pattern. So now we have here the swipe of liquidity below this low, and then strong push to the upside after ASEAN session swipe, then took the liquidity from the ASEAN session high, took the liquidity from this high here before dropping into our supply, and then completely nice drop to the downside. So I took the trade from this point, my stop loss was here, and my target will be this low, or I will take partial at this level because we have here clear liquidity. If you see, we have here 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is a level of liquidity, okay. The second level of liquidity, it's a little bit far, it's this specific low, because we have here first touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch, and if you expand the left, you're gonna see more touches. It's a good level of support and resistance, so it's nice 18R. So now we don't know, maybe the market will push again after swiping this low, push again to more discounted levels, so we don't know. Now my trade at break even, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen when the market open. Maybe we'll continue to the downside, and or maybe we don't know, price will push again to the downside from this supply. But this supply created by news, so I don't like supplies that created by news, so we're gonna wait to see. So I don't remember exactly the point, but this is the trade. So this is all the logic behind those two trades. So if anyone have a question, please post it in the chat. I will be happy to answer you. So we have just 5 minutes to answer the questions, and we're gonna close this call. So I'm a little busy, so this is it, okay. If anyone have questions about GBP and ZD trade or Euro JPY trade, please post it in the chat, or we're gonna end the call. So can you go over CAD CHF? Okay, we're gonna talk Dalo. We're gonna talk about CAD CHF in the private Zoom call tonight in the community. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this later. You break it down, it's pretty clear. So thank you, Mamani. So okay, everyone, I learned it a lot. Thank you. Thanks, brother. Ayub, thanks, brother. Dalo. Okay, so anyone more questions? If there is no questions, we're gonna close the call, and this call will gonna be posted later for members to see it. Okay, so everyone, this is for the day. 1 minute ping pong strategy. Oh brother Ram Kimar, I still learn this one. I'm still learning this one. I still go through this one, because usually I just took I don't took it as a ping pong. I don't take a buy and sell in the same different points, because I just can focus on 1 or 2 trades in the same direction. So if I try to focus in 2 trades in different directions, for example, we have a sell, move it in 3, just moving in, for example, 3R, and trying to take a buy, I can't do that. Maybe for next level, when I learn more, I will try to do that. It's all about so for ping pong, there is a PDF, you can find it in Telegram from someone who called V2. So it's you can find it on Instagram, called Inducement Cycle. So yeah, his Instagram called Inducement Cycle. So look for on Instagram. You can on Telegram, you can find the PDF for free. It's PDF who talk about liquidity, the major liquidity on the higher time frame, the medium liquidity that we can find it in on the above, for example, the previous day, or the previous day low, previous day high. So this the medium liquidity, and the minor liquidity that we can find in the lower time frame. Okay, this book or this PDF will you're gonna learn from it how to ping pong, for example, on your USD. Can you explain the weak low on the GBP and the trades, because I would have targeted it as my TP. So about GBP and the D, this is why I consider this as a weak low. So it's not strong low. Okay, so this high here, so when we trade, we need to have a range. So our trading range is starting from this high to this low. Okay, so price now come back all the way to take this liquidity. We're gonna consider this as a weak low, because this low have a liquidity. Okay, this low, I explained why this low have liquidity, because we didn't reach the premium level of this lag. This lag here, we didn't reach the premium of this lag. Even we have some couple of break of structure, even with this lag, we didn't reach the premium of this lag. Okay, so if we drop the fib from this high to this low, we didn't reach even we didn't reach the premium level. And the same thing here, we didn't reach the premium level. So price absolutely will come back to those discounted levels to drop. And at this point, all supplies here are not valid, because we have liquidity above it. So this why you need to avoid this trade. And if you see here, we have strong momentum coming to this discounted level of the second leg. This strong momentum, you cannot enter on strong momentum. So here momentum starts slowing down, and then tapped into our 2 hour this 2 hour supply after swiping this liquidity, and then we got the confirmation. So after we got the confirmation and the trade start moving with us, so absolutely this will be a weak low, because we are in the downtrend. And absolutely you are in downtrend, the market will target the next low. This is by structure. Okay, so I consider this as a weak low, because we are in downtrend, and we have in structural perspective, this is liquidity, structural liquidity. Okay, so let's move on. Much appreciate. Hello sir, in your USD. So what's this endorsement trader on Instagram? Yeah, Nick Cover, it's have a PDF talking about the liquidity, so you can learn from it. He called his Instagram called Inducement Cycle. Okay, can you advise me about the good risk management to pass my fundraising? So about the risk management, my advice to you, brother, just took 0.5% from the whole account. Okay, so if you have 10k account, your risk per trade will be $25. Okay, $25. Yeah. So at this point, you need to lose in the whole month more than let's say 14%, 14 trade. Okay, so to lose the account, you need to lose 14 trade. So, and to pass the challenge, you need, so let's say we have 32 R. Okay, so if you in every week got 8 R, so your challenge is done. So if you can get high win rate trades, just stick with the 0.25 risk. And if you cannot get that much of high risk to reward trades, take 0.5 percent risk from the whole account. Don't go with the 1%, it's too high. You're gonna lose 10 trades and you're gonna lose it. Okay,